Hey, this is Colteastwood. I want to talk about what Xbox Project Scorpio is going to cost, and I'm going to do it with a little bit of brains. Project Scorpio is going to be revealed with a name and a price in just 2 months at E3, but I'm going to use an educated guess based on past trends, current trends, and what things cost and what price points are. Now you're going to read a lot of articles and you're going to do a lot of Google searching and find out that Xbox Scorpio costs anywhere from $300 to $700. Some people even say it could be more. But guess what? If you're not a fan of Project Scorpio, you can't have it both ways. You can't fire up a comment section and say that Xbox Scorpio won't do 4K and at the same time say that it's going to be a $700 console. Oh, and I love how all of you Sony gamers and PC gamers magically have a high-end 4K gaming PC. Now, my fellow PC gamers, I know you do have powerful PCs, and if you built those in the past couple years, more than likely, you didn't build a 4K 60 frames per second gaming rig at $500. You can do that right now. In fact, people have sent me PC part picker lists proving that you can game at $500 at 4K. But nothing infuriates me more than the PC gamer that says something like this. My PC still beats your Xbox Scorpio any day. By the way, thanks for buying an expensive 4K console so I can get free 4K patches for my PC games. So I entertained this guy and I said, hey, how much was your PC? All right, before I give that answer, you guys all know I've been upfront on my channel. My PC cost me about $1,000 with everything I have in it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So how much did he spend on his PC? About $1,200. And I'm willing to bet you can buy 2 Xbox Scorpios for that price. But don't tell me somebody's wasting their money buying the Xbox Scorpio for about $500 and gaming at 4K. So right now we're going to ignore all those articles, we're going to ignore all your friends and all those haters that say the Project Scorpio is going to cost $700 or $800. And we're going to use some common sense. When the Xbox One launched, it sold for $500 and it cost Microsoft $471 to build it. Xbox made $28 for every Xbox One they sold over the past 3 years. PlayStation made $18 per console. Now, of course, PlayStation sold a lot more consoles, but look at this. $28 times 30 million Xbox One sold, and Microsoft made $790 million on hardware sales. But PlayStation 4 has a 50% sales gap against Microsoft, and at $18 for every 55 million consoles sold, Sony has racked up $990 million. So what will Project Scorpio cost? So the Xbox One S sells right now for $300 and it costs Microsoft $282. So what I decided to do is figure out what's inside the Xbox One S and try and get a good idea of what it will cost for Project Scorpio. Now this is all very vague and based on my speculation, but what I did was look at all of the hardware that was supposed to be in the Scorpio based on specs and find similar hardware that you could buy, take off wholesale, add on retail, and see if I can get somewhere close to what the Scorpio cost. The bulk of the price of the Scorpio is in the GPU and CPU, and some of the other things are easy to price, and that Ultra HD Blu-ray player, I priced at about $150 at a cost for Microsoft to acquire. Now some of these numbers may look funky, but I have to kind of round them and work them to get to a cost that matches what the Xbox One S costs for Microsoft. Once you figure in the wholesale change and the retail markup, I put the Scorpio at $489. Now that's the consumer price that I came up with. Now we can safely assume that Microsoft will mark it up to an even $500 and announce the price at E3. Another funny argument we get into is that the Xbox Scorpio should cost $700, but yet the PlayStation 4 Pro is only $400. Now, the PlayStation 4 Pro is supposed to be about double the power of the original PS4, sold at $400, but yet here we are 3 years later, and this double the power Pro is $400. So let's do a price comparison here. If you look at all the specs and the power differentials between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Scorpio, it averages out to about 24% more power for the Scorpio. And if you translate that extra power into money, that puts the Xbox Scorpio at $496. Let's round it up and say $500. So the last point I have to make, which doesn't really have anything to stand on other than market trends, and it goes back to saying there's no way that Microsoft will make the same mistake that Sony did with the PlayStation 3 launch. If the Xbox One S retails at $300, we can expect Project Scorpio to sell at $500. Anything over $500 is suicide for Microsoft. They can't afford to bring out a $600 console or a $650 console. And based off of these calculations I did, I'm pretty sure Microsoft's not selling the console at a loss. And a lot of people are saying that the Xbox is probably selling their console at a loss for a long time, but they haven't. Each year, the manufacturing process and parts get cheaper and more efficient. And this also carries over to the design of the Project Scorpio. And I don't think that the Scorpio is going to outsell the PS4. No way. There's a 50% gap in the sales numbers for the console. But I do think that Xbox has a chance to outsell every PlayStation 4 for the next few months after the launch, but that's not until this holiday. But we can sit back and wait for the actual reveal of June and not speculate on what the price is, but I think it's a good idea. And if you're looking to buy the Project Scorpio, I think it's good to have an idea of where your wallet's going to be hitting. But let's just hang back and enjoy the good news that's coming in for Project Scorpio, and just watch out for some of the comments from Sony gamers and other people who don't like Microsoft and seem to think any of this good news is an opportunity to bash the console. I think it's good. It's really good for all gamers. It's good for the competition. It's going to force Sony to build a better PS5 in the next couple years, and it's going to force PC gaming to keep moving forward. It's going to boost the sale of 4K TVs. It's going to bring the price of them down. It's just better. This competition is good. Let's hear your hate in the comments. This is